Today we're going to be talking about how to create a trading edge in 30 days. Now, what do you need to get a trading edge in the market? There are a couple of things. You need knowledge, but you need correct knowledge. Some people have been trading for a number of years and they're still not being successful. They have some knowledge, but it's not correct knowledge. It's not knowledge that's making them money. So you need good knowledge, not just knowledge in general about the market. Then tools. And you need tools to signal you, indicators, a way, a method of trading. And another thing that really is a tool is co-traders to collaborate with. That's being able to talk to other people. Those are tools that can really accelerate your trading rather than being isolated. And then experience. Well, how do you get experience? It takes a long time to get a lot of experience. Well, we can show you a way to get a lot of experience in a short period of time. So those are things that will give you the edge and help you to keep the edge sharp. Yeah, you can have an edge, but if the edge is dull, you're still going to be plugging along okay, but we want to have a sharp edge. Now this presentation is going to show you all three, and we can show you how to do these things in less than 30 days. Now this is getting the edge, and to keep it sharp, it takes a lifetime of study and practice and experience, and you might as well do that with some people that are trading the same way you are. Now education. We have a product called, well, it's Nth Degree. It's broken into two parts. Launchpad is the foundational or the beginning part, and Nth Degree is the complete system. Now you notice over here I've written small building or skyscraper. Yes, you can make money trading Launchpad and just build a small building. You'll be steady and you'll go along. But if you want to really be serious about it, you need to get the skyscraper tools so that you can grow bigger, faster, and actually make a career out of trading. Now here we're going to go over some of the overview of what is contained in Launchpad and Nth Degree. Now this is, you notice right here in the top corner, knowledge that works. The reason we can say that is we have hundreds of students that are using this to different degrees of success. Some are making full-time livings, others are doing reasonably well, others are just getting started, others say, I just turned the corner, now I understand how to make money. Those that are not making progress with our system are not following the system. The things that we're going to go through a few things that we cover in the courses. The trend direction and trend direction changes. You want to know which way the market is going and when it's going to change and go the opposite direction. You get multiple entry signals and exit signals. You get maximizing earning potential. And we can show you a lot of things that will really help you to see how that works. Okay, find high probability trades. You want to find just mediocre trades? Yeah, you're going to find some of those. That's okay. Take those. But why not get a few really good high probability trades where there's not really hardly any drawdown and it just goes profitable in your direction relatively quickly. Okay, now you need to develop your trading skills. Now this, you have the ability to make some money, but now to really get the skills to where you can really go, that takes a while. But you're being successful while you're developing those skills. It's just like you can be successful in a high school basketball team. You develop more skills. Then you can get in a college team, more skills. Get more skills, you can get in a professional team of type of sport you're in. You need to develop those skills. That takes a while. I mean, you can be successful at a lot of different levels. Now, we want to get you up to speed quickly. Okay, so what we're going to do is go through each of these areas and show you a little bit of information about how to identify the trend and the trend direction changes. We want you to learn how to recognize divergence and the high probability trend reversal patterns. That's a whole bunch of words, but let me show you some examples of that. Okay, right here you see the green arrow off to the left. That's showing congruent. That means the momentum of the market is going up and the price is going up. The next green arrow is pointing to the price is still going up. Yeah, you still want to trade in that direction, but the momentum's getting ready to change. And right here, right side of this chart, the market actually changed and it took a big dip. Wouldn't it be nice to know when that's going to be taking place? Okay, here's another example of that same principle. Right here, this is the bar right here that told you the market was going to change and take a retracement. It had been going up, and now it's starting to go down. So that's the things you need to be able to learn to identify. Okay, there are 5 signals to identify the trend. Well, how do you find the trend? A lot of people say, I don't know how to find the trend. Well, how do you know you got a good trend? Well, there's 5 signals in our course material that help you identify the trend. Then there are 5 signals to show you how to trade retracements. Now retracements, you know they're going to be okay, but you're not expecting large amounts of profit. You want to take those trades, they're good solid trades to increase your account, and know when to get out of those with a small amount of profit. 4 signals indicating that there is going to be the trend change. So we're trading retracements and trend changes. Now, learning to trade multiple entry signals and exit signals, and how to time those entries and exits. Okay, right here on this example, you can see each of these arrows. This was an entry signal. This was an exit signal, but it was also an entry signal going the other direction. And this was an exit signal, and another entry signal going this direction. Exit entry, exit entry. Okay, it doesn't always happen that clean, but that's the principle. If something changes, you may want to take things going in the opposite direction. Now we're going to maximize earning potential. So you need plans. You need to know how to get to your experience so that you can actually take a lot of trades in a short period of time to get that experience. You take 1-2 trades a week, it's going to take a long time. You take many trades in a week, then you're going to get more experience more quickly. Okay, right here is a tool. This is a record-keeping thing. Some people can't take journals. I'm not going to do that. It's just hard. They don't ever do it. But if you do this one thing right here, this is a matter of just making a couple of checks each time you take a trade. You can find your weaknesses and your strengths. Once you know what your weaknesses are, work on not doing them anymore. Once you know what your strengths are, just do those more. It really is not any more difficult than that. But if you don't know what they are, you can't really get going on it. And this is a big one. Show you how to trade while working a full-time job. That is really interesting. Many people go, can I do this while I'm working a full-time job? Well, we have a lot of people doing it. We have people growing their account by 20, 30 pips a day, and some that are making 50, 70 pips a day while working full-time jobs. And so that's really possible to do that if you just learn the skills and learn it with correct knowledge. And this is the one that's really exciting. Get 1 year experience in 30 days. That's what we're saying. We'll give you an edge in 30 days. And then from then on, you can just sharpen that edge throughout the rest of your trading career. You'll never stop sharpening your career. If you do, you lose some of your edge. You'll still be successful, but you might lose some of your edge. Find high probability trades. Well, yeah, you can find trades where you get mediocre and get just small numbers of pips. Why not find high probability trades that may give you small pips or large pips, but there's a good chance you're going to get those pips rather than taking losses. Here's a list of a few of the things that we use to find high probability trades. Okay, right here, see that blue? There's a blue line, and I have here in the going up and down, and we have 3 arrows. These arrows are pointing to multiple indicators giving you heads up that that is the direction that trade should be taken. So you have what we call a 5-alarm trade. That's really a big moneymaker right there. You get an indication on a smaller time frame. Confirm the direction of that trend on a larger time frame. We show you how to do that. If you get a alert on the larger time frame, we show you how to time your entries on smaller time frames. For example, on the left we have a larger time frame. Right there was a signal that said, hey, this market's probably going to go short. You may want to consider going short. So with this blue line on this larger time frame, we marked it. This is what it looked like on the smaller time frame, and you can see that the trend in both cases was going in that direction. But that's why you need to heads up and know how to read and find those. Right here, trading a sideways market. Well, look at this day chart. On this side, you see in between these 2 blue lines, that little box right there, that's a sideways market. This is what it looks like on a 1-hour chart. In each of these moves up and down is between 80 and 100 pips in each of these moves up and down. So yes, you can trade sideways markets by using the multiple and different time frames and knowing how to do that. Developing your trading skills. Okay, this is the long-term part of it. And so you want to be able to add on to signals, add to trades, trade more than one currency pair, and find those trades and know when to exit those trades. Right here, here's a trend. You can see that's obviously a trend going down. But from the bottom to the top of that, it was about 150 pips. What if you knew how to take out 400 pips out of that same trade? That would really be exciting to be able to do that. That's what we show you how to do, is how to add on to your trades, how to manage them, and how to make more money in the less time. Okay, learn how to trade several currency pairs at one time. Many people I've heard talk over the years say, oh, I just become really good at one or two currency pairs. Well, why not become good at indicators so you can trade all the currency pairs that your broker offers? So we want you to learn how to use trading tools to find the trades, to enter and exit the trades, and do it in less time and have less emotion. Become a mechanical trader. Let's review what we've talked about. We've talked about identifying changing market directions, identifying high probability trades, trade the safe part of the market, spot trades that are setting up to move. Sometimes they're not moving and you want to trade it, but it's not moving. If you were trading that one currency pair or two currency pairs and they're not moving, you're not trading. Why not go to one that is moving? And then get heads up on early entry points. Get into the trade early so you can capture those large number of pips. Now, we have acceleration portions of these courses. Now, you want to Launchpad and Nth Degree, they're basically one course. We have an accelerated portion on Launchpad. That's the foundational. So in 1-2 days, you have an overview and you have really kind of know what Launchpad's all about. And then in the next week, you can learn how to do that, all the rest of the material in Launchpad. Then you move to Nth Degree. Take the accelerated course. 2 or 3 days, you have learned the overview of the Nth Degree. In the next few days, might be a week or two, you develop all the skills in Nth Degree. So in less than 30 days, you have some tools under your belt, and you'll be amazed at how much you've improved in your trading. So we found that one of the most important things for traders to be successful is to get up to speed quickly. And to do that in a short amount of time with less effort. And how to get that experience. That is exciting. With less effort, yes, I'm all for that. Okay, we recommend that when you do these accelerated programs, at portions of the program, that you go through them as fast as you can to get the overview of the whole system that you're working with, and then get into the details. So I'm bringing this up because this is so critical. Go through the accelerated program as fast as you can, and it's very obvious what it is. It's just 5 or 6 videos in each one, but it really gives you a good foundation to get started fast. The trade grader. This is probably one of the most amazing things that we've come up with. You can grade a trade, and at a quick glance, you can have an understanding that between 90-95% of the time, whether that trade might be successful or not. Yes, you might grade it out, and it might be a losing trade. But most of the time it'll be a positive trade once you learn how to use the grading. And it's very simple, but it's powerful. It's not a complicated tool at all. It's not something, it's just looking and reading the charts. You don't have anything added. It's just knowing how to grade that trade based on what you're seeing on that chart. Step-by-step instruction, and we go from start to finish and show you how to grade a trade. Here's an example. On the left, on the day chart, that grade said, yeah, it's going down, but the market retraced. And then the middle time frame, the 4-hour, it says, yeah, take the trade going down. The 1-hour chart, there was no signal. It said, don't take the trade. Well, you can see what happened. It turned and went back up. So grading that trade would have kept you out of that trade. Here's a trade that was graded, and it was on a 4-hour chart. And over here, it kind of started saying it was graded, but over here is where really the grade came about on all time frames. There were 70 pips on that 4-hour chart. Here's an actual trade that was taken. It was a 228 pip trade. And you can see where it was taken here and where it was exited over here. But this drawdown, they got in the trade, and relatively quickly it went against them 73 pips. Had the trade been graded, you can see right here is where the trade would have been entered, and you would have gotten 260 pips. So that's an additional 32 pips you would have gotten had you waited and graded that trade properly. Well, being 73 pips drawdown going the other direction, you possibly could have traded this and made some money doing this in a little short counter trend trade. Now let's look at an actual chart where we graded the US dollar, the Swiss, and this was a good trade. Okay, the first side over here on the left on the day, it just gave us heads up. There was really not a signal there that said to take a trade. It says heads up, and once you know how to read that, you'll be able to understand that. The next one, the 4 hours, said, okay, this grades out okay, this grades out okay, and confirms it, and here's where you're a good solid entry, and there was the trade. So that's how you grade it, just by looking at several different time frames and knowing what to look for very quickly. And it doesn't take, you should be able to grade a trade out in 10 to 15 seconds looking at all the different time frames. Now, here's some more tools. These are alerts. We have alerts package and stops package. Okay, there's the normal alert, trend alert, early bird alert. These are just alerts. They're not saying once you see one of these signals, take a trade. It means once you see them, it says heads up, come and look. Then you grade the trade out. This is how you can get more trades going at one time. You can't possibly look at all the time frames and see all the things that are happening without some tools like this. I've tried it. It doesn't work. That's why we wanted to develop these tools for ourselves, but other people liked them and wanted them too. Then once you're in the trade, we have early bird stop and the Norwood trailing stop. So we have 2 stops to help manage your trade, and that's a fantastic package right there. So the alerts package, there are tools. Then here's, for example, this is the Norwood alert we're seeing here. You see this red arrow and the blue arrow? That's the Norwood alert. There's more parts to it, but this is the visual part that you'll see. Right here on this larger time frame, it gave you a signal. Down in here's where it gave you the signal. That arrow moves up, the blue arrow moves up as the price moves up. But that gave you the signal. Then you go over here, but we had to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the 5th time frame before we got the proper signal for that high probability trade, and then there's your nice time frame right there, a nice move on the smaller time frame. So that's using the alerts and grading the trade. Okay, this is a trend alert. These are all the different currency pairs, and you can see a lot of time frames on each currency pair. You see a trend developing on a couple of these, down and up, but there's some other trends developing over here. Once you learn how to read this, there's a good heads up. You can kind of see the flow. At a glance, you can see more things. Plus, you have alerts bringing things to your attention. Now, right here is the early bird alert. You see this market was going up, and it started turning right there. That's an early bird alert right there. Now, this is what you get to see. You can either have a text going to your phone, or you get this pop-up box that tells you the time, the currency pair, and the price to which that alert went off. And so that really brings things back to your attention there. Now we have trading rooms. These are tools. This is where you have your friend tools. If you're building a house, yes, you can do most of it by yourself, but you might be good at 1 or 2 things, but you're not good at all things on the house. That's where you have friends or specialists. And many people like to trade different parts of our system. They become good at different parts, but they can spot things. The other people usually know about them, but they don't usually use them. They use some other tools that we have in the whole big package, and they can then get more trades brought to their attention because someone says, hey, take a look at the pound dollar. It looks like on the 1 hour chart it's giving some entry signals, some long signals. Go look. Oh, yeah, it is. Great. Thanks. Boom. I've taken a lot of trades that way and made a lot of money just because people bring them to my attention because I can't possibly find them all myself. But sometimes I'm the one bringing it to their attention. We have the U.S. trading room and the European trading room. Okay, here are some things that happen during the trading. We analyze trades together. We have trades brought to our attention from alerts and through each other. We create watch lists. Not every minute is there a trade happening. We create watch lists, so sometimes those watch lists turn out to be very profitable a few hours after the trading room when you're not with the group. And we have a good time also. So it makes trading really fun. Can you see where you can do this working a full-time job? The tools, the alerts, the signals we talked about, use different time frames. That's where you can work a full-time job and still be able to trade. You spend less time in front of the computer or the charts, even if you're not working a job. Say you're retired or you're a full-time trader, you get tired of sitting in front of the charts all the time, and you trade with more confidence because these alerts help to educate you. An alert goes off that says, oh, there's a good setup, and you know how to analyze it quickly. You're not spending your time trying to figure out if there's a setup there or not. And you can do this with less negative emotion and let the trades come to you instead of you chasing the trades all the time, and you can go to bed and sleep. and have a life. So the alerts and the stops make it possible to make more trades and at one time. So you can spend more time looking for new positions because the alerts are bringing them to your attention. And you spend less time managing trades because you have the stops managing that for you. You kind of check on it once in a while and make an adjustment, but then you're off looking for more trades. Trading will be more exciting and trading will be less stressful. So here's some key points. Take more trades, you'll have a better chance of winning and making profits. Once you know how to enter them, what if you take 5 trades and have 1 loser? Okay, if you manage it properly with the proper tools, it'll be a small loss, and the others will be large or small wins. 4 small wins is better than 1 small loss, so you're still going to grow your account. Take more trades is what we're suggesting here. Learn to trust the indicators in shorter periods of time. Trade more pairs for a maximum return on investment. And here's the summation. To be a disciplined trader, well, that takes work. Sometimes I am not disciplined, I jump out, but when I am disciplined, I'm more successful. Become mechanical. That means do the same thing all the time. Same thing consistently every time you trade. So you become a disciplined mechanical trader. Okay, what's included in this package we've talked about, this knowledge we've talked about, Launchpad and Nth Degree? Okay, we have lifetime access to Launchpad and Nth Degree. This is with the all-new acceleration courses. This is where you can get up to speed more quickly. Then we have access to your U.S. and European trading rooms. This is where you trade with other people. We have the trade grader. That really is probably one of the biggest things that made this a powerful system. So the things are brought to your attention. You can take high probability trades. An accelerated coaching webinar. Okay, we did the acceleration course, but then we had coaching on it. Coaching Launchpad, coaching Nth Degree, and that we've included as part of the package. That was a paid-for product back when it was created, but we're adding it into the base course now. And trading labs. These are a series of webinars that we conducted on questions that people were having, issues. They're 20 to 40 minutes long each, and there's quite a number of them. That's included in this package as well. So what do we have? We have all the modules, the trend direction and trend direction changes, multiple entry and exit signals, maximizing your earning potential, high probability trades, trading skills are improved, and you have access to these alerts we talked about. You have a 60-day trial on the alerts. There's a normal alert, trend alert, and early bird alert. Then we have the early bird stop and the Norwood trailing stop. At the end of the 60 days, if you still want to do those, then it's a subscription product. So that's what's involved in it. So you can have all of this for a total of $497. When we sold it individually, it was much more expensive than that. This $497 is a great value.